Hi, everyone. This is Brian Sachs, and I can't tell you how excited I am for what we're about to share with you. One of our members, Denise Solzer from Jersey Mortgage. Let me close out of my so you can see I'm actually really working, right, Denise? Um,
You are absolutely working.
Okay, so we have with us Denise Solzer. She is one of our members. She's a member of the Boomerang Expert System. She's a member of Renters into Loans, also a member of the Loan Officer Unfair Edge program. And Denise was sharing with me a really neat tool that she recently used, a tactic that really is starting to generate some new business for her. And it was such a neat idea, and I think the world of you, Denise.
Thank you.
And so we thought we would share it with all the rest of you in the group. So I'm going to really not say anything. I'm going to turn it over to you, Denise, and tell us a little bit about this client appreciation event, the results you had, how you structured it, and everyone, just so you know, we're doing this so that you can replicate Denise's success and really start doing these in your area for your clients. So without further ado, Denise.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Hi, everyone. I hope you find this of value. I think that if you implement what we shared today, you definitely are going to get the same tremendous results that I have had. What I want to share with you is this started basically because I noticed that a lot of the clients that I work with and my peers all had a common challenge, and it was to eat healthy. You know, most of us are on the run nowadays. A lot of us have small children, and people are just not eating healthy. And what I wanted to do was to give them some fun and give them a night of relaxation and introduce them to eating healthy fast. So what I did was contact a pampered chef consultant, and her and I together put this client appreciation event together. The client appreciation event that I put together included past clients, current clients, realtors, CPAs, and attorneys, builders also. So I sent out a mass invitation to everyone.
How
And
big was your list, Denise?
I honestly probably sent out to almost 200 people
Okay,
because I
so
do.
lesson number one for everyone is I hope you have a list.
That's true. You need a list. That's a good point, Brian.
Yep.
So what I did was create a invitation that I was able to e-blast out. And then I also took that invitation and we also then carved it down to about 50 people that we, in addition, mailed postcards to for the night's event. I put out a few phone calls to follow up, to give people reminders, because we all know in this environment, people's schedules change constantly. So we really had a great turnout at the event. We had probably, I'm going to say 25 plus people. And like I said, it was a mixture. So now we took the event, and not only was it a client appreciation and teaching people the simplicities of cooking healthy, but now it gave all the participants to network with their counterparts at the event.
So can I stop you for a second?
Please.
I think what you said is just so critical. I just want to point out to everyone, so some takeaways that you should immediately be jotting down. Number one, Denise invited the people via email, via mail, and via phone call. So the lesson there is, I'm constantly asked, Denise, which media is best? Well, the reality is you should be using all of them because some people will respond by phone, some people will respond by email, some people will respond by regular physical mail. So that's, what you said just casually in passing is an enormous, enormous marketing lesson. And you're so smart for really using all of the media. Again, the second lesson, make sure you have a list. When you say attorneys, you're in New Jersey, so you're an attorney state. I'm here in
Correct.
Maryland, we're a title company state. but why not? Title companies and attorneys can be enormous influencers and introduce you to new business. So Denise, I'm sorry, I'm going to try to be quiet, but those were two huge lessons I couldn't just not talk about.
No, not a problem at all. The other thing I wanted to share that I think was key was I was very strategic about the location. A centralized location, being New Jersey is small state and people can commute easily, I wanted it to be centrally located. I was fortunate enough to use our Parsippany branch location, and that means people could come from all directions and get there in a timely manner, even with traffic after work, and that was key. The other key point that I'm going to share with that is I also communicated in a very soft way, but the message was received, that seating was limited because we knew that really we did not want to have more than 25 individuals there, because then the event wouldn't have the same level of impact for all of the participants.
All right. That's, again, another big marketing lesson. You do not have an offer unless it has a deadline. Your deadline was quantity based, but deadlines can also be time based. They have to respond by such and such a date. So brilliant, brilliant. Now, I know you put some slides together to kind of walk us through all this, right, Denise?
That is correct.
I got to tell you, I mean, such creative, out of the box thinking. So proud, so thrilled for you.
And I'm assuming that, Brian, we're going to post this in a members area that everybody will have access to the slides.
Yes.
Did you need me to go through those slides now?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, let's see if I can make that work for all of us. So this that I could share with everyone is the invitation. And, this was a big draw because right away the invitation tied to the event in that it's going to be healthy. And I want to share with you the first invitation that I created, or I should say was suggested to me, was not one that was acceptable to me. So, you also, in pulling these events together, want to be honest with the partners that you pick. And I felt that it was too generic and I wanted to focus in. And the invitation that went out, the feedback that was actually received was very positive of how the invitation presented when it was received. So I think that's also going to be key to the event.
Awesome.
Here are some notes because, people needed to understand that they were going to get a value out of coming to this event. It was in the middle of the week on a Wednesday, but people needed to know, hey, what am I going to walk away with? So, I talked to them ahead of time about, hey, we're going to do some infused water to get people away from sugar. And that's such a big interest right now. We talked about salads, and some of the feedback I got is, oh, I have kids, they'll never eat the salad. After the event, that changed. A lot of people also love their pasta, and being in northwestern New Jersey, that is definitely a staple. And I shared with people that we were going to give them a taste of how easy it was to switch away from pasta noodles to vegetable noodles. And, that also was really of interest. And, it really was a show. It was like watching a live cooking show, and everybody wants to be part of a live cooking show. So that was also the draw. This slide is talking to you about, it's important, again, just to recap on your location, the day of the week. We all know in this business Mondays and Tuesdays are quite hectic. The end of the week is quite hectic. So middle of the week was a great time, and I picked a date and time that I knew people could travel to when they were leaving work without having to ask to leave work early. I want to key in also on our host. She was amazing, or I should say our consultant. And I've arranged with her, for anybody that wants to contact her, she will find you a consultant to her equal caliber in your area. Already had that discussion, and she's more than willing to help you do that. You want to get somebody that really is going to put on a beautiful presentation. So I located the #4 salesperson in the country to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was also of great value, because if I pulled all these people away from their families and their work and bringing clients out into the field, I really needed to make sure that they walked away with a pleasant experience, and she certainly delivered that.
Hmm.
So
She's got
he
a
is
great
more than,
smile.
I'm sorry, what,
I
Brian?
said she's got a great smile.
Doesn't she though? And she's an absolutely wonderful person. And I must say, I shared with her before the show that I really wanted my people to have an experience that they could go back and say, hey, we had a great night. I didn't want them to feel that they were obligated to buy, because that wasn't the idea of the show. And she agreed to that. So I make that statement to suggest, don't be afraid to communicate to your show consultant what your expectations are. And please feel free to use her as a resource, because again, she's already committed that she will help you in your market area find a consultant of her caliber.
Hmm.
Now, what we did to add to it, because we're all enjoying our beverages, we also added, and we pulled in some local area wineries, farm fresh wine tasting. So before the event started, people had the opportunity to do a little bit of wine tasting. So they knew ahead of time it was wine tasting, and it gave them a chance to try a red, a white, a burgundy that would also complement the food that we were eating that night, tying into the whole farm fresh experience.
So now, did
And
you have to go buy the wine?
what I did, actually, and it was quite enjoyable, Brian, was I went ahead of time out, to answer your question, yes, to one of our local farms in the area that have wine tasting. So I personally selected the wines that I felt meet the caliber of the evening. And so I had a little extra fun doing that and met some really great people, and brought back the wine and had it all set up for the event. And I actually was the one pouring, which gave me great interaction with all of the people that attended that night.
Hmm. And did you pay for the wine, or did they provide wine?
I actually, this time around, I actually paid for the wine, though I do think it is a great idea going forward to get sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably could have easily done that, and I thought I would do that second round. This time I just, selected to pay for it. But also, if you wanted to add to the event some local, other people in the area, like if there's somebody who wants to make finger sandwiches, especially if there's going to be realtors there, I absolutely think people would be willing to participate and provide different introductory food and drink, because then this would give them an avenue for the realtors to save, to do their open houses and their brokers open. So I think you could get participation that way.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, let's see. Okay, so you want to start your planning today. And I think that's the big mistake everybody makes across the board. Really great idea. And you go, that sounds great, and I'm going to do it. But there's no time like the present to take the action. And so as soon as I kind of formulated this in my head, I went right to action mode. I think that's important, because I think sometimes we have plans and we just don't sit down and execute. And you really can't mess this up. It's such a simple event. Here's an outline of what the event actually looked like. 30 minutes, while my consultant was setting up. During that time, I was having all my guests come in, introducing people, pouring wine, doing, a little bit, asking questions how they like certain wines, and just having a good time, just a fun time after work. Once she got set up, the show actually lasted about 45 to 60 minutes. And people were in awe of watching her prepare the food, I have to tell you. I announced where the wine, came from, where people could go and get the wine. I had some pamphlets there for them about the farm that I got it from, suggested other places locally too. So she did her demo for about, I'm going to say 45 to 60 minutes, and we were very fortunate. She did 3 dishes. She did the infused water, she did a salad dish, and then she did the dish with the replacing the pasta with vegetable pasta. So we watched her prepare all this, and we watched all the different, gizmos that she used to prepare everything with. And then as everybody was now enjoying their food, I helped pass out the food, again, getting an opportunity for my guests to kind of see me out of that professional financial mode and more just the social side of me, which I got great feedback on. And when we were all sitting around drinking our infused water and enjoying our pasta and our salad, people wandered into her and placed orders. And I was amazed at how appreciative everybody was. Pampered Chef is also, a very known product, so people really look to go to these shows. We also, added fun. She raffled off some gifts. I provided everybody with water bottles, again, tying into the whole water bottle and fresh water. I took our water bottles from the company. I inserted a personal pen with my name and logo on it, my business card. We had chip clips. Everybody needs chip clips. So we gave out chip clips. We had mouse pads there for people who wanted mouse pads. Everybody loves to get gifts. So, we were eating and having some drinking and having some gift giving and raffles. So good times.
So this was how long ago from when we're speaking now? This was how many weeks ago?
Oh, this is just a couple weeks back, Brian. A couple weeks. Our event was held on the 17th.
Okay. And so this is the package you actually gave out to the realtors?
That is a package that I gave out to the realtors. And just so everybody knows, there was a company folder. In that company folder, I put background on the company, background on myself. I also put in there some of the marketing that we do a partnership with our realtors on. There was my personal pad and a business card, some testimonials. So the realtors also left with a packet that they could peruse so that we could start to do their fall planning.
So do you have any stats for us, Denise? Any new relationships, rekindled relationships?
I think that was the biggest thing. Several new relationships were definitely established, and appointments are scheduled to have some coffee and put a marketing plan together for fall. Definitely, I'm going to say a 10% increase in business already. And the networking that took place there just solidified me in our community as the professional financial person that I wanted people to perceive me as the go-to.
So let's talk about loan officer unfair edge, okay? And let's talk about, in practice, not theory, in practice, what you've just done. You have created reciprocity. You have gone out of your way to invite people to just a fun evening, okay? And you have created reciprocity with the clients, with the attorneys, with the realtors. I mean, you even created reciprocity with the wine people and the Pampered Chef lady. So you have really, I mean, I wish you were in front of me. I'd give you a big hug. But the other thing that you've done so brilliantly and so wonderfully was you realized that in order for people to do business with you, you get them into a non-threatening atmosphere. You created that reciprocity. But remember that people have to know, like, and trust you before they can ever do business with you. And the only way they can look, let's be honest, they're not going to really get to know, like, and trust you over coffee or lunch because they don't want to be there any more than you do, okay? But you've invited them to a very non-threatening, fun evening. We're able to still get your information out to them, but most importantly, they were able to get to know you, to like you, and now they'll be able to trust you. And I know just from the interactions we've had, Denise, just talking to you and getting to know you, you got to love you because you're awesome. So really, hats off to you. Anything else you wanted to share with the members?
I'll just go through this briefly, Brian. This is just some other pictures of the events, just to give everybody an idea
You
of the
call this guest gifts, but I call this reciprocity on steroids.
Got it. I like that, Brian. That's a great concept. I love it. That is so true. You know, again, you know, chip clips are on the table, help yourself, water bottles there. And I just want to point out, I kind of went with a theme. And it's important that people, if you want to create an environment, themes are kind of good because it creates a remembrance of the evening. So there's a wicker basket there, and there you can't really see it, but there's some, like, you know, pretend hay coming out of it, tying into that whole farm fresh idea. Here again, I put chip clips, the mouse pads, you know, and you've kind of got a little farm crate there with all the wine flyers and wine. But I also want to show everybody, it doesn't always have to be this big, fancy environment. You know, I said to people, hey, it's the end of summer, we're coming into fall, a lot of people working at home. I kind of put everybody at ease. I'm like, come in your flip-flops, come in your shorts. You don't have to be, you know, dressed to come to this event. Come as you are and relax. And so simplicity, that's our consultant. She was up doing her thing, having a great time. And you can see she sets up a whole table with products, which is great. That's some of our participants having lots of fun. Just the, again, simplicity of environment, adding the sparkling water and wine. And a key point here, I had found out ahead of time, I had several people participating that were not wine drinkers, and I certainly didn't inquire, but again, making them feel comfortable, I assured them there were other alternatives that evening that they would find just as refreshing.
Beautiful. Look at that. Now that's a fun night.
That was a fun night. They look happy, right?
Nope.
And here's the testimonials. This one is actually from an attorney, and I mean, this is our attorney who actually, you know, left his wife and kids that night to participate. He had a great time. And I also, ahead of time, said to everybody, look, you're not obligated to purchase anything. This is all about you, and I want to give back to you. And still we have somebody here that is saying how great it was to socialize with people, people he works with that on a daily basis doesn't get a chance to really connect with. And we had some realtors there that we do business with, and he was able to see them one-on-one, meet new members of the team.
So Denise, tell me roughly how much this cost you financially out of pocket.
Out of pocket for me was under $800.
Under $800, and we probably could have gotten that even lower.
Brian, under $100.
Oh, under $100. Well, I wouldn't even suggest getting it any lower than that. But you see, you know, folks, all of us, really, I mean, you know, we think that, oh, it's going to cost too much money to have a party. It's going to have to cost us too much time, too much money, too much effort. What if nobody shows? I mean, Denise, I mean, I can't thank you enough for sharing this with everyone. Look, here's another testimonial from Remax in New Jersey. I mean, what a smart, wonderful way to make something happen. And you know, as I've gotten to know you, Denise, the one thing I know about you is that nothing is going to stop you. If you can't go straight, you're going to go around it. And that's what you've done here. You've gotten very, very clever and put together a tremendously successful, and I'm sure you're going to be replicating this, right? And doing these.
Absolutely. I am going to be doing these quarterly. And you know, Brian, I want to share with everybody too, I had an unexpected surprise because, again, my sole focus was really just networking. And actually, a couple, if I may for a moment just elaborate, I realize we're extending a little bit, but a couple nice surprises everybody should be aware of. One, I wound up getting hostess gifts, which I wasn't even aware of, didn't even inquire about, because again, never anticipated that people were going to want to order product, but people were like enthralled with ordering product. So that was one nice surprise. What I then found out was, going forward, I can do these as a charity event, and I can donate to multiple causes. So going forward, what I'll do is, instead of taking hostess gifts, I'll announce ahead of time that the event will be being donated to, be it somebody perhaps in town having some medical issues, to some of our puppy dogs and kitty cats. There's multiple causes that we all have interest in. And I wasn't aware of that. So you can do it as a fundraiser, or you can take the host benefits.
Well, I can't tell you again how smart this is. And more importantly, I truly appreciate you sharing with the rest of the group. And if anyone else in the group has any great ideas like this that you would like to share, please let me know, because that's what our group at the Loan Officer Unfair Edge is all about. Any last words, Denise? Again, I want to thank you for the time. Thank you for taking the trouble of putting the slides together so that everyone else can benefit. You're truly just, awesome. Awesome's the best word I could use.
Well, I've had a good coach. Thank you very much.
Well, this one, let's be fair, I had nothing to do with this one. This is all you. So this is 100% you get the credit for.
The only other thing I want to say to everybody is, don't wait. Don't wait. Start this today. If you don't have a list, go get your list today.
Right.
Second, there is nothing stopping you today from making that phone call to the consultant. No time like the present. The next thing is commit to a date and time and follow through. You can't go wrong on this. And the other nice plus about it is, my understanding is most of the consultants, Brian, and that's why the event was not big dollars to me, only a benefit to me, was the fact that the consultants provide all the food.
It's a
yeah, it's a big, I just had to provide some paper plates, utensils, and cups.
Yep. That's a beautiful thing. So once again, Denise, thank you so much. We truly appreciate you sharing. And what a clever, wonderful idea that you will just continue to reap benefits from. And it's using all of those little known psychological skills that we've been talking about in Loan Officer Unfair Edge: reciprocity, knowing, liking, trusting. All of these things are here. You've used scarcity, right? Because there was a limited amount of people. So you see how all of these things are actually tied into this one event. You use so many of the tactics, maybe consciously or subconsciously, from the Loan Officer Unfair Edge. So hats off to you, Denise. Once again, thank you.